Good morning. Uh-oh, what's happening? Time to make the coffee, I think. There it comes. All right, that has me all discombobulated now. This morning's flavor is chocolate raspberry. Oh, I better check this out. All right. Well, I was outside already this morning before I made the coffee, and it's going to be a nice warm day, but cloudy, and we're supposed to get some thunderstorms. Oh, lots of activity going on here this morning. My coffee pot is acting up this morning. So I was already outside this morning, took a look in my little grow bags, and some of them are starting to sprout. I'm excited. So today is supposed to be a high of 68. No, 78. It's going to be 78 today. So if anything's going to sprout, it might do so today. So I don't know what's going on here with my coffee pot. I have to check that out. But it didn't finish making my coffee. So, please don't tell me I need another coffee pot. Well, if that's the case, I won't be buying the Chefman brand again. This is my second one. So, but it might have been operator error because I turned it on and then I turned it off because I wasn't ready to film yet. So we'll see. All right, well, let's take a look here. Hardly any coffee in there, so something's not right. Okay, I have to get to it and see what's wrong with my coffee pot. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to say good morning this way this morning. I don't know what's going on with the coffee pot. It might have been my fault. I turned it on, then I turned it off because I realized I didn't have the camera ready. So I unplugged it, I'm letting it cool off, and hoping that it'll work again. So anyway, cheers. I did manage to get a cup of coffee. It had made like this much, and it was really, really concentrated. So I just added water and my creamer, and it's perfectly fine. So when plan A doesn't work, you have to go to plan B and plan C and keep going to the plan till you get to Z, and then you start all over again. Don't give up. There's a difference between not wanting to do anything anymore, like let's say you wanted to be a painter. And then you painted and painted and painted, and then you kind of decided you didn't want to be a painter anymore. So you made a decision to not paint because you kind of lost the passion for it. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's not quitting. That's stopping. Okay, you just stopped doing it because you didn't want to do it anymore. So quitting is something that, let's say, okay, again with the painting. And you paint and paint and paint, and you don't think you're good enough. So instead of learning new things, you just stop painting rather than trying different things. So I think, personally, that's my opinion. I think there's a difference between making a conscientious decision to stop doing something and actually quitting because of other reasons. So as long as you still have a passion for something, keep going. You know, just keep trying different things until until you get to the point where you're either happy with where you are, and then you stop doing it, or you just keep doing more and more, and keep trying. Just keep on trying and keep on doing, and eventually you'll be like Edison and Dyson and all those inventor type people, and you'll get there. So this morning I was already out in my garden. It's 60 something and it's going up to 78. And I took a look at some of my little grow bags, the winter sowing bags, and I have a lot of things that are popping up. My chamomile, my cauliflower, the broccoli and the bok choy are still doing well. I think I may plant a few more bok choy seeds, but I'll wait and I'll plant those just out in the garden soon. What else was coming up? Oh, spinach, some of my perpetual spinach, which is actually a chard, and it tastes like spinach. So I was real excited about that. I've never grown that before. And so that's going in the garden. And what else? Regular spinach, that was coming up. Of course, you saw my lettuces. None of my herbs are coming up yet. It's probably too early. I planted a whole bunch of different herbs. And probably the end of the month or the beginning of next month, I'm going to make a trek to the nursery and pick up some different flavors of mint. I like the, they're expensive. It's like $5 for a little, you know, the little containers. But I've grown it before, but I didn't have it in a sunny enough location. And I do have some containers of mint that I think will be coming back. So I have to see, because here where I am, it's too early for the mint to come up. But I've had chocolate mint, mint julep, all kinds of mints. But what I want to do is I want to make a tea garden. So the chamomile and some of the other herbs that I'm growing, I'm going to harvest for tea. And I'm not sure which ones those will be. I have a couple books on making tea. So I have to do a little more research into that before I run out and buy some plants. I know I have lemon balm. I have lemon verbena. That makes a wonderful tea. Lavender, I'm trying to grow that. That makes a great tea. Your citrus peels, dry those and put those in your tea mix. So, you know, whatever you want. So anyway, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have a regular little herb garden. I'm going to have a tea garden. You can put dried strawberries in there. Any kind of dried fruit you can put in your tea mix. That's always delicious. So lots of plans. And hopefully this weekend it'll be nice enough where I can get those city picker boxes moved. That would be awesome. I have my door open. I don't know if you can hear my wind chimes. They always make me happy. But they're right outside the door in my dining room. So I'm hoping it doesn't rain too much. I did get out there and clean up the garden already this morning. I'm not so good with keeping up with that in the winter time, you know, with the snow and everything. It like, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of gets buried. So, but in the summer I go out there every day and clean up the mess my dogs leave behind. So, okay, well, this is a little bit of a good morning. Time to make the coffee. It is chocolate raspberry, so it tastes perfectly fine. So, I'll be back in a little bit with my budget book, and we'll see how I did yesterday. Okay, we're back at the budget book. So yesterday, I actually did not spend any money, so nice green check mark. I was going to order those posts, but then I decided not to. I took my mom to the doctor. I could have stopped by Home Depot. It's on the way home from her house. I could have picked them up, but I didn't feel like spending any money yesterday, so I did not. And I figured I'm not quite ready to do the fencing, so they're just going to be hanging out and taking up space, and I won't be doing anything with that for another week or so. So I figured I could always run out the day before. I plan to move the fencing and get the stuff then. So no money spent. I don't plan on spending any money today either, but you just never know. We'll see what happens. So next week, on Wednesday the 12th, is my one little granddaughter's birthday, so I'll definitely be spending money then. I got some popcorn. My same granddaughter was doing some sort of a drive for school, so I got a little bag of popcorn from her for $10, but I haven't given my daughter the $10 yet. I have to pay her back. So I'll probably do that on Sunday because we're going over there for Easter, so that'll be nice. And I'm going to try and see what I have in my stash to take as a share dish, but we'll see what I have. So that's sort of the plan for this week. I'm glad so far I have 4 days. April's off to a good start where I didn't spend money. And one thing that this is doing, this keeping track every day, it is keeping me off Amazon. I'm only getting on there what I absolutely have to have. No frou-frou stuff. So that alone is an epic reason for me to keep doing this. So, okay, this is month 4. I started the middle of January. I did kind of catch up here and marked what I did. But I started around this time. So I started around here keeping track, and I've been tracking every day. So I'm definitely more focused on when I spend money and when I don't. This has been working beautifully for me. So there we have it. We'll see how I do in April, and I plan on doing this for the rest of the year and making myself accountable. It is so nice out here this morning. Absolutely beautiful. The sun isn't shining a lot. Actually, today is a gorgeous day to work in the garden because it's overcast, but I haven't gotten started yet. That's the area that I'm working on first. That's the fencing over there. Actually, more so over here. All this that I have to move and make a little better. So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly yet how I'm going to configure it, but my whole little backyard is sort of fenced in. And I have to make sure that my dogs have enough space. I mean, they can't run a marathon back here, but you know, they hang out back here and they're safe. I don't have to worry about it. So the leaves aren't out on the trees yet, but I see over there See if I can zoom in on this. I thought this tree was dead, but those are all pussy willows. Right there. So I was going to take that tree down, but we'll see how it does. I like to give my trees every chance to recover. And the magnolia is going to be popping open. This is a magnolia, so definitely this week because it's warmer. So I think I'm just going to have my coffee out here this morning. I'm here in my garden, in my vegetable garden, and I've had these tiles forever. I had gotten them at Aldi's. I was thinking about using them somehow on my deck. They've been all over the backyard. I had no idea where I was going to use them. So now what I want to do is use them under these legs. So that way I'm using up what I have, and the legs won't sink down into the mulch and dirt. So I think that's going to work, just using what I have and trying to make my little garden prettier. All right, I'm going to try this, see how it works, and I'll be back. Just kicked up. Had some really strong wind gusts, but it's died down now. But it's starting to rain. But I wanted to show you what I did here. So this is going to work out fine. I have 4 more. No. How many do I have of this? Well, anyway, I have this many again that I will put over here. I don't have enough to put under all 6 of the boxes, but I can put it under 4. So it's going to work out just fine. And I'm using what I have. These have been floating around my yard for at least 5 years, if not longer. So there we go. Another thing put to good use. Sometimes I'm glad I don't get rid of certain things. So okay, making progress in the garden. Now it's starting to rain, so I'm going in, and it's almost 3 o'clock, so I think I'll have a cup of tea. Okay, it's time to wrap up the day, and I got quite a bit done in the garden today. I got some things figured out, like how to stop the little tables from sinking down into the ground, because after a while they go lower and lower. So I have those tiles that I'm going to use, and I also have a palette that I'll use that I kind of didn't know quite where to put it. I picked it up when I was out with my friend, and she has an SUV, so we picked it up. Actually, it was at Home Depot. So I'm going to put the rest of those little tables and beds on a pallet, so I'll be using that up. So yeah, I'm using the things in my garden that I already have on hand. I am getting a few new things that I have to have, but I'm trying to keep the cost down low this year when it comes to the garden. And, you know, over the years you buy things and you have ideas, and it's not quite right, like those tiles. They just didn't work where I thought I would use them. And I really haven't figured out somewhere else to use them up until now. So I think that'll work really well. And so if you're redoing a room or your garden or whatever it is you're redoing, look around your house and see if you have anything that might fit the bill in as far as doing whatever it is you want to do. I did that in my living room too. Went around and rearranged things that I already had, because they were all things that I like, and it just wasn't maybe working quite right where it was, or I didn't need it anymore where it already was. So I'm really enjoying the process of using what I have, whether it comes to food or my house or my garden. A lot of us really have everything we already need. You know, we just think we need something new and different, but when it comes right down to it, most of us have what we need. Or we can substitute one thing for another thing. So maybe you have a friend getting rid of stuff that you might like to use. You know, you can repurpose it and get it for free. So that's what I did today, and it really ended up being a nice day. We had a little bit of a wind blow through that lasted like all of 10 minutes, and then we had a very gentle rain. I don't even think it was enough to saturate the ground. So all in all, it was a very pleasant day. So it's going to get a little chillier the next couple days. I don't know how much I'll get done. And right now I'm almost to the point in the vegetable garden I can't do too much more until I get everything moved around. So I have to wait for my son and my grandson. So anyway, that was my day for today, and I don't even know what I'm having for dinner. I have a Marie Callender's pot pie that I might have. It's a vegetarian chicken pot pie. Those are pretty good. I've tried the beef. That was okay, but I do like the not chicken pot pie. So I might have that for dinner tonight. I had a very late brunch today. Just a toasted cheese, because I got wrapped up working in the garden and I didn't want to stop, but then I started not feeling so good and I thought, oh, I haven't eaten yet. So that's what I had for brunch, was a toasted cheese sandwich. Again, using up what I have. I have cheeses and breads, and you know, I want to start again with my freezer and refrigerator cooked down. I'm not going to document that, but I will, you know, if it's anything of interest, I will document what my meal is. Sometimes I'll do some recipes of what I've cooked with leftovers or things I have on hand. So I'm still going to continue to do that, but I'm not going to document every meal. I mean, I did it for a whole year. And really, the whole day sort of revolved around what I was going to eat. And I don't want to do that anymore, because it really, it was a really nice experience, but it's not something that I want to do the rest of my life, is just have my whole day focus around my 2 meals. So anyway, that's all I have for you today, my friends. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.